The May Melee tournament was a great showcase of new and old talent alike, and in this video we'll be highlighting just a few microplays from it, that whether through skill, luck, or even a combination of the two might go unnoticed in the heat of the moment, but still deserve their own time in the limelight. Our first play comes from the Paris Eternal, who are looking to capture point B of Hanamura against the Atlanta Reign. With a healthy time bank at their back, they figure they can try something a little off the books to really tie the map up. As Eternal passes through the passageway to the high ground, they bundle up against the wall. After a moment, the entire team drops off of the high ground and heads down center straight to the point. Naturally, the entirety of the Reign turns their attention to the incoming threat and adjusts accordingly. Onigod then places a teleporter up to the opposing high ground overlooking the point, and the Reign continues to be completely entranced. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to Atlanta, Daan had actually stayed behind and had been making his way quietly up the rear. Rounding the corner, he immediately drops the Shatter and starts swinging, netting a quick through K. Pelican, in a desperate attempt to falter the Reign's attack, drops his Blizzard, but Khan saves Daan's life with an Immortality Field. Elivote also flies up to Defense Matrix Daan's, showcasing unreal teamwork and loyalty to their sneaky main tank. After a quick shuffle on the point, the Paris Eternal managed to capture the point without much opposition at all.
It just wasn't there. What I'm also interested in too is, anytime you can get Khan up on a high ground with an Amp Matrix, that seems like it's a one fight for the Paris Eternal. They've got Khan up again, and there comes Daan around the side. They thought he'd gone through the teleporter, and instead he lays down the hammer.
God, this is some EU double Gloucester cheese. I've never seen anything like it.
Speaking of not much opposition at all, our next play comes from Havana between the Chengdu Hunters and the Philadelphia Fusion. After some extensive poking, Monk had managed to build up his amplification matrix. Completely bottlenecked, Monk sheepishly works his way out and drops the window in a perfect line of sight. All at the same moment, Mano attempts to counter Shatter whilst Rascal throws a wall up in his face. Initially thought to be a misplay, Rascal had actually saved Mano's life, considering Mano had dropped to 174 hit points. Despite the Shatter loss to the Void, Rascal compensates with a zoning Blizzard. Hotba goes deep and pops self-destruct, forcing Gaga to turn around and exposes back to Carpe, who swiftly takes him out. That entire push is now over, and the spawn camp continues once more.
Helps keep the sustainability. I like the way they're playing this part. You see Mono, he has the Shatter. Oh, wait, the wall actually stopped him! His own wall! His own main wall stopped the Shatter potential, and the Blizzard now came online. Rascal's like, don't worry, man, I got this. And Mono is probably not very happy about that one, especially considering he was set up for the perfect position for that Shatter.
Heading into our next play, we're taking a look at another incredible display of teamwork showcased by the Chengdu Hunters. To begin, the Hunters are looking to capture Objective B to complete their assault on Anubis. During the altercation, Leave rapidly builds his ultimate devoid of fear, since Monk invested Nano Boost into him. Leave, spotting the enemy Ana out from cover, shifts his focus on eliminating Jonak ASAP. Managing to top off his ult meter, Leave decides to duplicate Ana, probably to provide huge utility with Sleep Dart and the offensive bio nades. Sure enough, Leave sleeps Bianca and hits a two-man nade onto Friday and Flora, causing them to effectively back off from the point. Turning around, Leave notices that he was too late to save Monk, and he is now the main healer for his team. Without skipping a beat, Leave kicks into Mother Mode and begins to pump crucial healing into Elsa, staying his death and providing yet another nano boost. Right before the duplication ends, Leave manages to get one last nade out, topping Nisha off and forcing Flora to burn his recall. Because of the previous healing and subsequently the nano boost, Elsa was able to stay alive long enough to build Graviton Surge, which ultimately secures the point for the Hunters.
The way that they're playing so close together, they want to make sure that Friday isn't a threat with this rally. They're cleaning up the point, but nobody left for the NY to do anything. The ball swap coming in from Yakpon, but he immediately gets deleted. And the way that Leave now utilizes the duplicate right here, I mean, John, the Hunters, they're feeling themselves, but can they clear up the point in time before the rest of NYXL manage to regroup and find those picks? They've already lost Gaga right now, but the number advantage still goes in favor to the Hunters. Despite just losing Gaga, Elsa taking a lot of that damage, does have that grab, and now the duplicate to go in. Right here, you see Ivy taking a lot of that damage, but with that grab that he was able to build up twice, that point goes in favor of Hunters with that 2-minute and 48-second time bank.
Abusing game mechanics is surely a hot topic for discussion, especially when it comes down to gaining a competitive advantage. However, on Hanamura between the Gladiators and the Shock, Moth did something we aren't very used to seeing outside of a quick play match. Let's take a look. The Gladiators are defending point B of Hanamura, and are systemically being picked off by the Shock. As Shock advances onto the point and gains presence, Striker also manages to eliminate Mirror as well, who Moth is pocketing. This is where Moth hatches a plan. Narrowly dodging an Earth Shatter, Moth sticks his neck out to resurrect Mirror. Immediately after bringing him back, Moth retreats back into the spawn, swaps to Brig, swaps back to Mercy, and then resurrects Muse as well. After resurrecting Muse, Moth, once again, flies back into the safety of spawn, resets his cooldown, and resurrects Mirror yet again. After 3 resurrects, Moth goes for a 4th cooldown reset, but it is too late, and the Shock managed to secure the point. Even though it didn't end up working, it's still a neat display of game mechanics, and an impressive showing of when to abuse them.
Here with the amp mage. Oh my, okay, Striker's able to find him there. FD got running interference, good distraction I guess. Muse needs to touch the point, he fortifies just to do that and shrug off the Earth Shatter, but still Super gets in his face. Stalling now on the point, going to be very, very difficult for the Gladiators to pull up now. Kevster just sort of dashes on there and gets taken down almost instantly. Wrecking Balls here, Super playing behind Muse right now. We'll need a top up, but again, even with that resurrect, very hard for the Gladiators to touch it.
To finish today's episode off, we're going to be looking at a play that didn't necessarily garner the results it attempted to achieve. Nearing the end of King's Row, Outlaws are desperately trying to push the payload the final mile, whilst the Fuel defend their 1-point lead. Heading into the map's final fight, Piggy is looking for a big self-destruct, hopefully something that will thin out Fuel's rock-solid defense. As Houston presses forward, Dallas begins to give them space, recuperating behind the corner to prepare for an all-out assault. As the plan is set in motion, Repel drops window and forces Houston to respond. Piggy, seeing his opportunity, launches his bomb directly into the catwalk above Choke. Houston, we have a problem. Completely jammed into the crevice of the high ground, the mech manages to cover no distance at all, and stalls in the most unfortunate positioning. Funnily enough, the impending explosion is of no concern to Doha, as he assumes it flew overhead into the backline somewhere and thus is not a threat. Surely surprised, Doha explodes and Piggy nets a kill for that ill-fated self-destruct. While it did happen live, things like this easily go unnoticed, but nonetheless deserve to be shared for the inherent relatability that comes with it.
Tower healed quite happily there, and Sparkle is going to be able to get back in their face. Another Amp Matrix. This is going to be impossible for Houston. They're going to have to pull off something huge to make this happen. Self-destruct catches Doha. He doesn't realize it was caught under the walkway.
And that's all for this episode of Microplays. What was your favorite play from this collection? Let us know in the comments below. This video was made possible thanks to our wonderful patrons. A big thank you to everybody on this list, and shout out to Jason, Foxy, Lyra, Mauve, Nate, Nathan, Oshayo, Sierra, Shampoo, Weeaboo, Spartacus, and Yoshichi for being platinum supporters. And an extra special shout out to Steven, Noodles, Marco, Mookie, and Daniel for being diamond supporters. Thanks a ton guys, it means a lot to us. If you also want to support our channel and unlock perks, check out the Patreon link in the description below, or join our Discord server. If you want to help us out in a different way, leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell to stay up to date is also appreciated. My name is Nikita, and thank you for watching.